Since the Middle Ages, women and men have reported sexual attacks by invisible demons as they lie in their beds. Are they victims of demonic, psychological, medical disturbances, or are they electrosensitive? The medical profession would put these horrifying incidents down to sleep paralysis, with hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations, when the victim is at the point of falling asleep or awakening. Scientist Anne Silk believes that eddy currents in the brain can cause such hallucinations. These come from electric systems in the bedroom. For example, television on or on standby, night lights, video, telephone, especially DECT, street lights which are visible, Wi-Fi or Belkin systems in the house or from nearby neighbours. Electric mattresses or mobile phones on charge can also cause problems, as can static electricity in the body. Here we will explore another theory, one which has taken me some 30 years following ley lines and investigating different types of earth energies. I used divining rods, as in this picture, to follow energies of different types, which have given me an insight into these energies which science does not yet understand. This picture shows a typical black spiral in a house. The spiral is emitted from an underground stream and travels upwards through the substrata, which gives it its polarity. If it is clay, for example, or the water is polluted, the spiral will be unhealthy. From the right of the illustration, a ley line, a wide stream of vertical waves from a standing stone or circle, or from a modern open-cast coal mine, automatically gathers into the centre of the spiral. This is what I found in the coal mining town of Bonnybridge, Scotland, where a woman had a stomach partially destroyed by the flesh-eating disease necrotizing fasciitis. There were thousands of waves attracted into her stomach area in bed. I followed these back to the source, the open-cast coal mine, and through her house to a large quarry on the A9 Stirling to Perth Road. In other words, the coal mine allowed earth energies to escape, travelling above the surface of the ground, focused into her bed and onto another large wound on the planet's surface, in a quarry, where it was dumped back into the planet. Over years of research, however, I found many cases of ill health where the black spiral was far too small to be from an underground stream or fissure. Eventually I discovered that when a person is lying in bed, he or she imprints that area with their own energy. A person with post-viral fatigue syndrome, like me for instance, will have a black spiral centred about the solar plexus area. Even when the bed is vacated, the spiral stays there for some indeterminate length of time, still attracting unhealthy energies, but not necessarily from standing stones, etc., as we shall see shortly. This is Maynee Church and burial ground. One of the many strange discoveries in my research is that most, perhaps all, of the ancient burial grounds around my area of Crieff Perthshire, Scotland, have been carefully situated above volcanic anomalies, especially geological faults. Another strange discovery is that each grave in a burial ground emits two spirals, one negative, one positive, which are eventually attracted to each other and form a wave, about 2 to 3 meters wavelength, and travels to the bed that person occupied in life. In other words, there is an energy link between the deceased and his or her bed, or favourite armchair, or any other place they spent time at when alive. Not only that, but there are many lost spirit lines which are attracted into the centre of every bed with black spirals in them. In the case of demonic attack, there can be over 1,000. Little wonder victims believe they are being attacked by invisible entities. The brain is trying to rationalize what it sees as a demonic attack. Our ancestors were well aware of the problem and used various methods of eliminating the unhealthy aspect of spirit lines. This is an example of an Irish round tower at Abernethy, Perthshire. Notice the black spiral is attracted into the resonant cavity of the tower, built of paramagnetic stone, which can be fine-tuned simply by filling the space beneath the door with earth. The black spirit lines are then dumped back into the planet where they belong. There is also the healthy aspect of these energies, of course. Here is an example of a healthy spirit line escaping from this ancient burial ground. Unlike black spirit lines, this type of energy will pass through iron gates and railings, etc., and seeks out another type of resonant cavity, a nearby house, for instance. Then it is attracted into, presumably, a white spiral in the bed or armchair, etc., of the occupants, perhaps giving them good health. In Ireland there have been around 70 of these structures, built by monks during the 5th and the 7th centuries. Most were built near, or usually on, burial grounds, sometimes on top of existing graves. This is a close-up of the door at Abernethy. Notice it is some distance above the ground, and sometimes quite high above the ground, like this example at Cloyne, Ireland. Another, even earlier example of dumping malevolent spirit energy can be found at Fortingal Burial Ground, Perthshire. This is an ancient cut-mark stone in the annex. These deep cut marks are excellent attractors of spirit lines. They attract all of the black spirit lines in the entire graveyard. Then dump them back into the planet, presumably via a geological fault beneath. This is Cairn na Marv, the cairn of the dead, 100 metres away from the Fortingal burial ground. Here, centuries ago, the entire village was hurriedly buried after a bubonic plague took its toll. In this instance, all of the black spirit lines are attracted again to other resonant cavities, these lovely thatched cottages, and then into the beds of the sick and injured. It is possible that all of the old burial grounds in the country had cut-mark stones of this type, but now there are very few left. This is another example at Dundurlan Burial Grounds, St Fillan's, Perthshire. And this is a close-up. One possible way of reducing or eliminating these unhealthy energies is by using quartz crystals tightly held in clamps. These must be the natural grown variety. And they must be placed on 4 sides around the bed, as in this diagram, to put up a shield of piezoelectric energy. Another possibility is by using a Tibetan singing bowl over a bed space. This may work, but also try visualizing a sphere of pure protective energy around the body, and or saying the Lord's Prayer. There are a number of ways which may help. Try them all. Also, they seem to feed on fear, so getting out of bed and settling down may help. Some people suffering demonic attacks may be sensitive to static electricity. In this case, try earthing yourself with a copper wire from the ankle, perhaps, to the ground. If any person watching this YouTube has had experience with demonic attack and managed to eliminate them, please contact me. cowan@leyman.demon.co.uk. Leyman is spelled Leyman. To find out more about how to use divining rods and to follow ley lines and spirit lines, return to my homepage www.leyman.demon.co.uk and click on YouTube at top. Here is an example. Standing stone with fissures beneath. Standing stone with a spiral. This is my book, co-authored by Chris Arnold, on the fascinating world of earth energies from both a scientist's point of view and a dowser or earth energy researcher. So we have portals and attractors of various types in earth energies. But why should a person attract so many unhealthy spirit lines into his or her body? What is known and accepted is that youngsters at puberty attract poltergeist behaviour, and it may be that victims of demonic attack are more sexually aware than the average person.